Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and let me call to order this meeting of pre-commission meeting of the Macon-Bibb County Commission for Tuesday, September the 1st. Let me read this little disclaimer and disclosure to say that out of an abundance of caution, the Macon-Bibb County Commission meeting scheduled for Tuesday, September the 1st, 2020 will be available to the Macon-Bibb County Commissioners by video conference. The commission chambers will be closed to the public and press in order to slow the spread of COVID-19. Therefore, the public and press may only access the meeting simultaneously online at www.maconbibb.us, or if you go to Facebook, www.facebook.com, you will find a link there that will take you to a YouTube site where we're being streamed live on YouTube. So we've made both of those available. I think we do have a quorum of commissioners. I see by my little computer list, we have Commissioner Allen, Commissioner Bivens, Commissioner Schlesinger, Commissioner Watkins, and Commissioner Wynn on the line with us, as well as Commissioner-elect Wilder, Commissioner-elect Howell, and Mayor-elect Miller. Welcome to each and every one. So with a quorum, I count.
Commissioner Shepard's here too.
Oh, good. So we've got Shepard and Jones as well. So thank you very much. And so we've got a quorum. Let me then proceed to say we have a series of announcements for you, but I'll start with probably the most known announcement first, and that is Monday is a holiday. So all offices here at Government Center will be closed for Labor Day. That means that there is a 12 o'clock noon cutoff for getting items in for the agenda, because we won't see them until Tuesday morning. So 12 o'clock noon on Friday to get any items on the agendas. But have a wonderful, safe Labor Day weekend. Next, let me call on Julie Moore to give us an update. And again, before she starts, let me just say how hard she has worked and how diligent she has been, and how she has persevered through tedious chores to continue to try to get all of our expenses in the right category and documented and submitted and approved. Julie, give us the update on where we are with Phase 1, Part 2.
Great. Well, thank you for that. And we have been working hard trying to make sure we have all the appropriate receipts so that we are eligible to be reimbursed for all of the money in this Round 1, Part 2. Just as a reminder, we submitted Round 1, Part 1 for $2.4 million, and we were awarded all of that reimbursement, approved for all of those submissions. So since last Tuesday, I've been busy putting together the Round 1 Part 2 submission, which totaled $5.6 million in expenses. And as of today, we have all $5,612,263.53 submitted, and we've had $5,103,892.36 approved up to this point. So we're still waiting for that last $500,000, but our understanding is that as long as it was in before midnight tonight, that they will continue to review. They did kick back a few things here and there, needing more information or some summarized information or a receipt that had sales tax on it. So I have gone back and made those adjustments. And so at this point, we're just fingers crossed waiting on that last $500,000 to be approved. And then we'll be keeping our ears open to see if Round 2 is opened up and what kind of guidance the state will be giving us at that point.
That's great. Women know how to spend money. we can handle that.
And get reimbursed.
Good job, Julie.
When you spend it. Anyway, Julie's done a great job, and we'll certainly keep everybody closely posted. She did send to Chairman Watkins of the Operations and Finance Committee an updated list, as she would change figures and this, that, and the other, and submit it in different categories. So she sent an updated list to Commissioner Watkins earlier today, right, Julie?
This afternoon, yeah, we've been working down to the wire trying to get it all in, but I wanted to reorganize it so that you all could see it in the allowable expenses, and if Commissioner Watkins wants me to, I can send it to the rest of the commissioners.
Yeah, that'd be fine. I got it just a little while ago. Looks good.
Just a second. Let me go to settings and turn off on. Wait, I just did that.
Hey, y'all, we are fixing
Legislative.
a internet issue with the mayor's computer. If y'all will just bear with us for a second. One of the joys of live streaming meeting.
Okay. Okay, I think I'm back now, and Julie, thank you for that report. We'll go on. The governor has issued a couple of new executive orders and extended his emergency order, and I'll ask Michael McNeil to give us an update right quick on the emergency order and the latest executive order.
Thank you, Mayor.
Michael?
That about sums it up, to be honest. The governor issued 2 new executive orders yesterday. The first one extends the Georgia public health emergency through October 10th, which, as a reminder, is the legal justification for holding our meetings by Zoom. And so we continue to be authorized to meet remotely, at least through October the 10th. The other order that he issued was the next in his Empowering a Healthy Georgia series. And this order is effective from today through September 15th, which is 2 weeks from today. And I reviewed it closely and did not see any substantive changes from the last 2 weeks. So everything that we went over last time 2 weeks ago continues to hold true. And I would expect the next order to come out probably either Monday the 14th or Tuesday the 15th for the second half of September. Mr. Mayor?
Any questions or comments by commissioners of Michael on the governor's orders? If not, we'll move on, and I think Spencer Hawkins is on the line, and he can give us an update on where we are with our local COVID numbers. Spencer, are you here?
Yes, sir. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Good.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Okay. Good evening, commissioners and mayor. We've got a bit of good news, but like the governor said, we can't take our foot off the gas just yet. We are starting to see over the last, 4 or 5 days, a slight, very slight decrease in our numbers. And these are the numbers that we're looking at, which is the 7-day moving average based on date of onset of symptoms, as according to the Georgia Department of Health website. So just real quick, the last dates that I'll give you the last 3 dates that we have, which is August 16th, 17th, and 18th. Respectively, those averages are 52, 47.1, and 45.3. Those death rates are 2.7, 2.4, and 1.7. So these are obviously moving in the right direction. We're excited to see that. But like the governor said, we can't take our foot off the gas just yet. And I wanted to provide you another quick update too, as far as what we're doing here at Macon-Bibb County to continue to protect our community and protect Middle Georgia. Like I've said many times, the only thing that we have to fight COVID right now is our PPE, hand washing, and social distancing. And on the PPE front, your emergency management agency to date has received in, inventoried, and processed 430,000 masks, 152,000 gloves, and 27,000 bottles of hand sanitizer. As far as distribution, this has been a wonderful partnership between our community and everything that we have going on. Is to our departments and community partners, we have distributed 61,000 masks to the community. This is in partnership with our recreation department, and they're working on giving out masks at all 10 of their rec centers. They have handed out just over 97,000 masks to our community. And just recently, we have stocked our county vehicles. So think your sheriff's office, patrol vehicles, public works, parks and beautification, facilities, EMA. And we've given out 25,000 masks to those community departments to have them in their vehicles. So as they're going about their jobs, as they're doing their business in the community, once again, we don't want to find people. We don't want to get people in trouble. We want to protect people. And so they now have at least a box of masks, which is 50 masks in their vehicles that they can feel free to hand 1 or 2 masks to those citizens that need them. And that is our goal, to get this PPE out to everybody that needs it. Another wonderful partnership that we're working on, and this is just a kind of a teaser before the full announcement in the next week or so, is EMA has partnered with Newtown, Visit Macon, and the Chamber of Commerce to develop the Making It Safe pledge. And that's an opportunity for businesses, workplaces throughout the community can kind of sign up to say, here's what we're doing to keep Macon safe. Here's how we're going to do it. And here's what we're going to do to be a community to get through this. So far, we've had about 30 or so workplaces sign on to this pledge. And then, like I said, in the next week or so, Newtown's going to do a full rollout. So once you see that, please Making It Safe, share that with your constituents, share that with the community so we can get that out. And then finally, I'll close on the fact, like the mayor said, we do have Labor Day coming up this Sunday, and we know that's usually the time for gatherings and barbecues and spending time with your friends and family. But as we're going about our weekend, I advise everybody, please, please stay safe. Understand that as much as we'd all love to get together to enjoy a hot dog and a hamburger with our friends and family, now may not be the year. Please, as you're going about your business, stay COVID safe this Labor Day weekend. Do what you need to, have a Zoom barbecue, do whatever you can to stay safe. And that's all I have, pending any questions, sir.
Very good, Spencer. Thank you very much. A virtual barbecue. Okay, we can try a Zoom barbecue, I think is what you call it. We can try anything once. Any questions or comments from commissioners of?
A Zoom
Spencer?
barbecue won't smell and taste the same, but we'll try it.
That's right. Next, we got an update on film projects, and I'm going to ask Michael McNeil to sign back in and tell us about that. Michael?
Thank you, Mayor. So we have 2 ongoing or current film projects I just want to let the commission know about. One was over the weekend. There was just a short closure down at the skate park down at Carolyn Creighton Park, and a short period of intermittent traffic control that was conducted at the corner of 5th Street and Poplar Street for just a few hours on Sunday night in connection with a show that is filming at the Coliseum right now. And then the other is a independent film, a small independent film crew that is, they don't have certain dates set yet, but they're looking at potentially coming in to use a couple of county facilities for just a few hours. These are both very low impact kind of closures, but I just want to let the commission know that groups are starting to look back at conducting film activities again, and so we're being very mindful of limiting their ability to do that in a way that is safe and make sure that they're following safe protocols for COVID and that kind of thing. So it's, just a couple of small closures have been proposed.
Good. Questions or comments by commissioners of Michael on that report? Hearing none, then next item on the agenda is to review the agenda for tonight's commission meeting, which I hope will start right at 6 o'clock. We'll convene as close to 6 o'clock as we can. Prayer tonight will be given by Commissioner Allen. Thank you, Commissioner Allen, for agreeing to do that. Following that, I have been asked and will read a proclamation for Public Safety Sunday, which is coming up this coming Sunday, the 6th, and that'll be the beginning of basically Public Safety Week. And of course, we all recognize the significance of September the 11th. That'll be that same week. So I'll read the proclamation. Then we'll go on with the approval of minutes from the pre-commission meeting and the regular commission meeting of August the 18th. Those minutes have been prepared and circulated. We'll see if there are any changes, additions, or corrections, and then go to reports from our standing committees, operations and finance. And I think Chairman Watkins will probably give us that report. The next is economic and community development, and I think Chairman Lucas will give us that report. Public safety is a report. No, well, there's always a report. Every day is Public Safety Day in Macon-Bibb County. So thank you, Chairman Wynn.
You got that.
Yep. And then facilities and engineering, Chairman Jones, will you give that report?
Yes.
I'm assuming. Okay.
I was thinking we didn't have one, but okay.
Oh, no. Okay. So no report there either. All right. I'm sorry. And Michael, do we have any public comments that we have received on agenda items? Janice, have we received any that we need to read?
No public comments whatsoever, agenda or non-agenda, Mayor.
Good. Okay. So we'll dispense with that and go straight into the consent agenda. I think the consent agenda is going to be universal approval. It's most of them, if not, in fact, all of them are existing locations that currently sell beer and wine. And there's a change of ownership that has precipitated, the request for the new license in the new agent's name, new owner's name. The first is on, it's Riverside 2700 LLC, located at 2700 Riverside Drive. In case you're trying to place that, it's between Pierce Avenue and Wimbish on the left-hand side of the street as you head north, right there at the entrance to the interstate. At that intersection, there's a bank there, and then this little corner, this is for beer and wine package sales to go. And as I say, it's an existing location with gas and alcohol sales. This is merely a change of ownership. The next one is Camus 51 LLC, doing business as the Quick Serve, located at 2260 Sherling Drive. This also is an existing location with gas and alcohol. It's a Sunoco station at the corner of New Clinton Road. Change of ownership there, beer and wine package sales to go at that location. The next is Nepal Incorporated, doing business as 1313 One Stop Shop, located at 1105 Gray Highway. It's an Exxon station that doesn't even have a walk-in part, but it's got gas and fuel, fuel sales and alcohol, beer and wine package sales to go. Again, change of ownership to an existing location. And the last one that just came in recently, in fact, I think it was added today, is a new alcohol license for The Pool, VIPUL 3010 LLC, doing business as Tom's Mart, located at 3010 Houston Avenue at Macon, Georgia. It is an existing location and has beer and wine package sales to go currently. Any questions?
Does it have gas pumps?
I do not think that one has gas pumps. I do not think that one has gas pumps.
So walk me through that, Michael. I got issues. Why doesn't that? Tell me why that doesn't constitute a vice mart. I know we just passed the law; it's still fresh, but.
Sure, Commissioner. So the Vice Mart ordinance takes effect today. You may remember that the effective date was September 1st, which is today, and under the due process provisions of the 14th Amendment, as soon as the applicant files their application with our business development services, they vest in the rights as the law is that day. So anything that's filed, any application filed up through yesterday would be under the rules before the Vice Smart ordinance was enacted, even though we're asking the commission to vote on it today. But any applications filed today and going forward, those new Vice Smart rules will apply.
Okay, rules. Okay.
Any other questions or comments about the consent agenda? If
Mr.
not,
Mayor?
can I, yes, sir.
Just if item D
Mike.
was added today to the agenda, it needs to be added by motion under Open Meetings Act.
It was added today, so I need to get a motion to add item D to the consent agenda since it was added today and not 24 hours in advance. Can I get a motion to do that?
So move.
Got a motion in a second. Well, I'll second it.
I'll
I
second.
think I can do
I
that,
think
Duke.
we were
I'll
not very
second it for you.
enthusiastic.
Good. Thank you, Scotty. Scott Shepherd's going to second it for us to add this to the agenda. All in favor of adding it to the agenda, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. I think the ayes have it, so it's on the agenda now. So can I get a motion to issue all 4 licenses as
So
requested?
moved.
Second.
By Commissioner Wynn and second. So further discussion, hearing none, all in favor of issuing these 4 licenses signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, say no. The ayes have it, so they'll be on the agenda as a consent agenda for final action at our 6 o'clock meeting. Next, we've got the old business. And old business, the first item of old business is the changes that we made to the Code of Ethics. And we may not be through with changes to the Code of Ethics, but these are some changes that we agreed on. Committee of the Whole heard that and recommends approval. Item B is an appointment to the Keep Macon-Bibb Beautiful Board, Stephen Adams, and Economic and Community Development heard that, recommends approval. Item C is an appointment of Billy Pitts to the Board of Tax Assessors. The Economic and Community Development Committee heard that and recommends approval. Same with the resolution to appoint Sydney Solomon to the Keep Macon-Bibb Beautiful Board. That's item D, and Economic and Community Development recommends approval there. Next is an ordinance to amend Chapter 4 of the code to allow an additional hour or so in the morning and in the evening on Sundays for alcohol sales. And the Economic and Community Development Committee heard that and recommends approval. Next, item F is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with Evidence-Based Associates LLC in the amount of $361,872 using the Juvenile Justice Incentive Grant Funds. Operations and Finance heard that and recommends approval. Item G is an ordinance to authorize the Macon-Bibb County government to establish a homeless support CARES Act subrecipient grant fund in the amount of $1,000. This is the first of 4. Did I say 4? I'm sorry, $4 million. I mean, the first of 4 resolutions, each for up to $1 million. Duke, did we make a proposed amendment to that to say up to? And it, Michael, was that? Did we do that? And may need to ask for approval rather than just saying $1 million. The finance department said it might help to say up to $1 million to give us some flexibility there. So what do we need to do? Do we need to do a committee amendment here on all 4 of these to add those 2 words up to? Michael, anything else that it did, the amendment?
I hadn't prepared those, Mayor. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that I was asked to do that.
Oh, well, then if we don't have them, we don't have them.
I mean, yeah, you could just write in the words up to. I could do it right now.
Yeah, I mean, we can just write them in right now. If the
Well, that was the recommendation for
Yeah.
us, to rather than just saying $1 million, appropriating $1 million,
Up to.
say up to $1 million. And if that's okay with Commissioner Watkins, he's the sponsor of each of these. Commissioner Watkins, any problem with that, sir?
Not really.
Okay, we'll consider it a friendly amendment to say up to, and Michael will do that. The second item H is the same thing, $1 million under this little subrecipient grant fund for feeding the vulnerable under the CARES Act subrecipient grant. Item I was a school board support CARES Act up to $1 million there. And the final one is the $1 million in the local small business CARES Act. And each of the four of these, as I understand it, is going to have procedural rules and recommendations or rules and regulations prepared for how the money is to be spent. And hopefully we can take a good guess and get some guidance and direction so that we spend it in accordance with the CARES Act and get reimbursed for most, if not all, of the money.
Mr. Mayor.
Commissioner Wynn, yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry to have to ask this. I did have to leave before the discussion of this last week. I had to leave early. But question, and if people are going to put in for some of these funds, for example, the day after this was voted on or discussed, I had one of the nonprofits saying, how can I get some of that money? Well, are they going to be given the I guess it's the rules, regulations, what do they got to have? What do they have to have? Receipts of money spent and document if it's spent for COVID-19 expenses versus just normal expenses. How are they going to do that? And are we giving them those instructions?
The short answer is yes, but I'll go back to my standard short answer. Let's ask Duke and see if he can shed a little light. I think we're going to have to promulgate rules and regulations.
Right. So, and by the way, don't we need the same up to language in these as well?
Right. All four.
Right. So the short answer is we need to treat these like grants, and I'm not a grant expert, but we would have to promulgate, and we will have to do this guidelines as to who can qualify for whatever, how much they can qualify, what things they're buying, et cetera. And I don't have all this does, just so y'all know, all these do is just appropriate the potential money. Then we'll have to do basically a grant procedure, which I'm not an expert on, but I see Julie on, but we'll have to figure that out so that people who do apply can be treated appropriately and consistently with all three of these things.
Will they be given instructions on how to apply?
Yeah, right. That would be part of it.
Okay.
You have to do that because otherwise they wouldn't know how to do it.
And Julie,
suggestions, we come back to y'all with some information about that because right now it's just making sure the money's there if y'all vote on this in commission, and then we'll have to figure out how that works.
Right, but I want
to make sure that anybody that applies for that it's done properly so that we can be reimbursed, because we don't want to be spending up to $4 million.
That is correct, and that's a big part of coming up with those guidelines.
Okay,
exactly right.
Thank you.
Yep.
But if I understand correctly, and Julie, I think all of this money that we're talking about in round two, if there is a round two, and once we find out exactly, I think it has to be spent by December the 31st of 2020. Is that right, Julie? So
that's
it's not
correct. And I also think the email I just sent all the commissioners and the mayor you have in front of you at least gives the allowable categories of expenditures. So I think building off of what we know so far they've said is eligible, and I'm sure there are businesses and entities in town that maybe have receipts of where they've spent money for PPE, for example, or something that they can see within this allowable expense that might be a place to start. But just give us a little moment to put a package together. We've also been receiving calls. And I just have told people that you all would need to confirm this tonight, and then there'd be a process by which we'd have to get together the information to provide for folks so that they could fill out paperwork and make sure we have all of the necessary documents so that we could be reimbursed from the second round, this round two funding that we hope is coming.
right. And but I do want to commend Chairman Watkins for being proactive on this and giving us some at least framework and appropriating up to $1 million in each of these 4 categories. So it gives us a jump start because we're going to be moving fast between to get the program set up and the money distributed and spent by December the 31st. So stay tuned for further details. Item J on the agenda under old business is an ordinance to authorize Macon-Bibb County to establish a local small business CARES Act supplemental grant fund amount of up to $1 million. And that's to try to help some of our local small businesses that have been impacted by COVID. Item K is a resolution to ratify and authorize the mayor to execute a Georgia Department of Transportation contract to accept CARES Act funding for the Middle Georgia Regional Airport in the amount of $1,063,495 with no local match. Operations and Finance recommends approval of that. And that's all of the old business. Then we've got a number of items of new business that I will read and refer when we get down to that. But I'll refer each of them to committees at that point in time. And then that'll bring us all the way down to since nobody for non-agenda item comments, no public comments, we'll take a motion to adjourn after we read the new business. So, wow, here we are at 25 minutes to 6, and we, I think, are through with the agenda for pre-commission. Any other business that we need to take up in pre-commission? Excellent, excellent. Well then,
Mr. Mayor, you spoke too soon.
Uh-oh.
I just wanted to, I noticed that under new items, new business items, there's an item that talks about additional funding for the Board of Elections.
Yes, ma'am.
And so what I'd like to do is for us to, I've already asked the legal department if they would develop a resolution which gives support to the Board of Elections in the things that they're trying to do to increase the ease in voting. They are our Board of Elections is part of a lawsuit that a voter rights group has filed, and Bibb County is included. And so everything that they can do to show that they're making it as easy as possible for voters to cast that vote, the better off they are. So the resolution just simply gives our support to the Board of Elections in their endeavors to identify a satellite voting site. And I think they're already working on that. I don't know whether they've talked to the administration or not. The other is to identify locations for more drop boxes, not a whole lot of them because they have to be secured, but additional drop boxes for the absentee ballots. And the other is to support their request for a Sunday voting, which would take place after the Saturday voting that's already on the agenda. So I'm going to have that resolution, and I thank the legal department for working and pulling that together. But that's something that will be for consideration at the I guess committees next week.
On September the 8th, right? But remember now, it's all got to be down by noon on Friday. So I'm sure our legal department is going to be working overtime between now and then to get everything down.
Mr. Mayor.
Down. Yes, sir. Mayor Pro Tem.
Just to update commission on what Ms. Lucas was referring to, we've had requests to put a drop box on county property that has to have a certain amount of requirements, such as security cameras and everything. The property we offered to them is at the courthouse. So they've already, I believe they've ordered the mailbox. We're waiting for it to be delivered, and BSO will assist us with the security of that over at the courthouse. Additionally, they asked for a place to set up additional early voting sites I believe before they used the terminal station, there was no space available at the terminal station. So I've offered the rec centers. Initially, when I spoke, I thought they only wanted one, but they sent me an email yesterday saying they would like to look at 3. I told them that we will make them available, but they had to go back and find out how much it would cost them to run 3 additional sites, and they're getting us that information. So there could be an additional supplemental coming for early voting sites. I'm waiting to get that information. But again, we've offered the rec centers for additional early voting sites because they're currently closed.
Very good. Thank you, Dr. Moffitt, for that update. And yes, we'll have, I'm sure, a spirited conversation next Tuesday about that.
Mr. Mayor, I just wanted to say one more thing. Macon-Bibb County is behind. We only have 1 early voting site. We used to have 2. We only have 1 now. I know we're not as large as Atlanta, but there are other places, like I think in Houston County, some of those cities in Houston County have 2 or 3 satellite sites. So that doesn't speak well for Macon-Bibb. We need to provide more than 1 satellite. I'm not saying a whole bunch, but at least 1 more this election cycle.
Good. All right. As I say, I'm sure we'll have a spirited conversation about that next Tuesday. Anything further for us at pre-commission meeting?
Mr. Mayor,
Michael?
I've got the 4 committee of the whole amendments prepared.
Good. Why don't you
mentioned.
review those for us, please, sir?
All I did was add the word "up to" into the caption. Let's see. So this is, for example, this is the homelessness one. I just add the words "up to" into the caption right here, and then down in the first section where it sets the amount, add the word "up to" right there as well. I did that for all 4 of them, and that's been circulated via email to yourself, to Ms. Ross, to Mr. Groover, and via Zoom to everybody on this call.
Good. Any questions of Michael about the amendment to those 4 companion resolutions? If not, then we'll vote on the amended ordinance for those 4 ordinances. All right. Anything else to come before us in the pre-commission meeting? Good. If not, stand at ease. Stay plugged in. Stay tuned in. Don't go anywhere. But stand at ease. You can cut off your video if you want to, and cut off your audio, and make yourself comfortable. And we will convene at 6 o'clock for our regular commission meeting. The pre-commission meeting is adjourned.